The Greater Miami Chamber has been around for 112 years. So if you think about it, the community was a teenager when we were born. And I think throughout that whole time, with the help of leaders like Jackie Torre and United HomeCare, organizations that have been incredibly important, we've been able to guide and direct, to grow, to shelter, rebuild this organization throughout all that time. It's an incredibly important organization, and I feel so very blessed to be a part of an organization that has never once failed to answer the call when it was needed. You know, having fallen many times, that's absolutely true. Life is like a bike, and unless you stop pedaling, you keep going, right? So it's important to keep pedaling. It's true. Giving back to the community is one of those things that it refreshes you and replenishes you. Being engaged and volunteering in your community is essential. It's essential for really providing the quality of life. When I was a kid, I was taught a parable that the community was like a well in the desert, and you can drink from it and it refreshes you, it keeps you alive, but your responsibility when you turn to walk away is to leave the cup full for the people who come behind. And that's what our role is as good citizens, as good corporate citizens. This community was built for us and left for us by some incredible people. And those are the leaders and movers and shakers who came from desperate parts of the world to establish this amazing community. And it's our absolute responsibility to leave it full for those who come behind us.
I think what really inspires me more than anything else is what to give back to the community. I came to this community when I was 11 years old with my parents. None of us had a penny to our name. We came with 33 pounds of clothes and didn't know the language. And everything I have here is I owe to this community. So I really believe giving back to Miami is very important. We're very proud of what we're doing here at Jackson. We're in the process of investing $1.8 billion in capital expenditures. We're building 2 new hospitals, one in Doral, which will be a 100-bed community hospital, and here at the UM Jackson campus, we're building a new 96-bed full rehab hospital, which will be in partnership with the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis. So we'll have research as well as rehab in this facility. It'll be one of 3 world-class centers, the other 2 being in Boston and Chicago, so there'll be nothing anywhere close to that in the southeastern United States. So we're very proud of both of those hospitals. They'll be open in May of 2020. So a lot of great things going on, and what we really are looking for the future at Jackson is to have a modern plant with the great doctors we already have, so that every patient in Miami thinks of Jackson as the main choice for healthcare. I think the mission of United HomeCare is a very important mission for the elderly in our community. As we continue to have more and more elderly, and especially the baby boomers getting to that over 65, it's extremely important to have that kind of a home health care environment, and that United HomeCare provides. The job that they do for the elderly here in this community is extremely important for the entire community. I guess I'm old enough to remember Claude Pepper, and I did meet Claude Pepper, and he was a great person for Miami. He's one of the reasons why Miami is what it is today. I'm not only very honored, I think obviously I'm nothing close to Claude Pepper, so I think it's a huge honor for me to be even included in an award with such a name.
Miami Empresarial Magazine is a business publication that's been around for about 10 years, and we cover positive, actionable news and profiles that create a positive impact in South Florida. We extensively cover philanthropy. That's where we have included United HomeCare, but it's basically a business publication. It covers what moves Miami.
We have had to deal with our elderly, our grandparents, our parents, and for us it's been quite a learning experience. And it helps us also understand the valuable aid that United HomeCare brings into play, because taking care 24 hours a day of an older relative is really, really something.
We have also seen the residents of United HomeCare, which is a state-of-the-art five-star hotel. And the experience that we have learned from elderly people in Miami, it's incredible.
We started out like 40 years ago working together as colleagues in a publication, and then one thing led to the other, we fell in love, and now we are together 24 hours a day. So we say that we've been married 31 years and this year, and it's triple time. Most couples are together 8 hours a day. We're together 24 hours a day. So we demand to get credit for all those hours.
That's like 100 years of marriage.
Absolutely. I have a great patient.
In my role as the senior advocate for the Mayor's Initiative on Aging for Miami-Dade County Mayor's Office, I deal with a lot of different organizations, both internally and externally. And I went and I visited, because I have gone out and visited every center, most of ALFs and nursing homes and hospitals and that service the elderly. So I went to visit the residents, and I was so impressed with what I saw there. The love that they treated the elderly, the cleanliness, just the whole ambience of serving the elderly. As you know, Miami-Dade County has the largest population of the elderly in the state of Florida. Next year, there's going to be more seniors than children in this county, and how well we prepare for that is how well we're going to be doing. I find myself constantly educating, on the services, the need for housing, the need for long-term care, the need for transportation. Socialization is very important. How can we help? Or how can everybody help? Just educating yourselves. We talk to legislators to make, policies that will affect and better the lives of our seniors. It's really very fulfilling to be in this role and to really make a difference, and to be able to have the support of the mayor and to be able to do what we need to do to make a difference. I want to dedicate this award to somebody that was very special to me. She was a mentor. She was an icon in the community. She was the first female CEO in Miami-Dade County. She was my aunt, Carolina Calderin, who passed away last year. So I think she would have been really proud of me to have been following in her footsteps. So I wanted to dedicate it to her.
SLAM stands for Sports Leadership and Management, and our goal is we're a public charter school, and what we hope to do is we infuse sports themes into the curriculum. As they go from middle school to high school, we have them pick a track where they can find a role and a career within the sports industry, whether it be broadcasting, sports nutrition, sports science, physical therapy. We want to open up the entire gamut of what their life could be so that they are better prepared to achieve their goals. We're right here in the middle of Little Havana, where I know that when my parents came here, they both lived in this neighborhood, very tough neighborhood. So it means a lot for me to have this school here. We want them to be as prepared as possible to go out and fight for their future. But we can't talk about role models to our students here without first talking about Pitbull. As many of you know, Armando Christian Perez, Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, an international artist, but more importantly than that, an incredible person. And he came up with this idea of finding a different way to teach children and using that as a way to make a lasting legacy for himself beyond music. Education has always been a passion for Pitbull because he had a tough time in public school. So his thought was that through sports, we could find a common ground where children want to learn, and we could find a unique way to help children who learn in different ways be able to pursue their future. And for us, I think one of the things that binds us as a culture is our respect and our reverence for our older generation, for our grandparents, for our parents, and for that transfer of knowledge and wisdom that is so important. And I've seen firsthand the passion with which United Home Care goes and carries out its mission. I've known them for a long time. It's something that has inspired me in my mission here at SLAM. It's, like I said, it's a tremendous honor to receive this award, as we hopefully try to find ways for our two very successful nonprofits to work together in the future and to try to bridge that gap between student, young person, and older person in the community and aid in that transfer of knowledge.
We're lucky to have actually not only meet Senator Pepper, even though he was a congressman, but also work with him. So back in the day, when I graduated from law school, I went to work for one of the premier law firms in Miami, Mershon Sawyer, and Congressman Pepper was actually of counsel to the firm. And it was a very charming man, but more importantly, a very dedicated and committed. I mean, you could have an enjoyable conversation with him, but you knew at the end of the day he was driving something, either for you to walk away as a young lawyer with a sensitivity and compassion for the work that he was doing, but more importantly, you know, just a sense of the world where things were going and how we needed to do something. I think you've heard a little bit about the trajectory that our family has had as refugees to this great land. We've all found a way to give something back, some more directly, some through advocacy, which is what we do. But in a way, that's kind of been what we were supposed to do, right? You know, we're supposed to be grateful and thankful to this great nation for allowing us to come here originally for a short period of time and now, you know, a much longer period of time.
This, you know, Cuban immigrant population helped build South Florida. How can we not help them move forward in their later years in helping them through United Home Care and organizations as such to provide them the dignity and the necessities that they need. So we can provide for our parents and we can provide for our immediate family, but those that can't, it's so great that there is organizations like you all that help them. It's bringing them into a continuous reminder that they're family.
In the tradition of the Cuban family, you know, our grandparents, you know, basically were with us all the way to the end. And the support and assistance that United Home Care provides, each one of those in their own way is very unique and special. And it's going to be needed more and more as we all grow older.
It's definitely an honor to receive an award honoring such a great man in our community. And I think being honored as a family for our work together exemplifies what he also did for South Florida.
Well, the relationship really started during my years in public office. Obviously, dealing with the issues and concerns of our aging population is important for county government. And we provided a lot of social services for the elderly. We promoted programs that in fact would help them age in place. So clearly, as a result of my public policy, I interacted with many different agencies in the community, and obviously United Home Care was at the top of the list. As I transitioned out of public office, we actually began to, as a family, need the services because of our elderly parents.
You know, when my mother, my grandmother, my father-in-law, Alex's dad, you know, got up there in years and their health began to become frail, you know, it was very difficult on the family. We wanted them to be able to stay home, you know, surrounded by things that they knew, that they were aware of, that they felt very comfortable. And obviously, you know, we had to, you know, work, take care of the kids and all their activities. So United Home Care offered services that would allow them to stay home in their environment and be provided for with certain health care, and allow the family to also interact and be aware of what was going on and be able to have an input as well, which was very important for everyone involved.
We've also worked very closely with the professionals at United Home Care. That hard work and advocacy has resulted in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of stories, just like the one you just heard from Lily.
Everything we are, everything we will ever be, is owed to that generation. All the love, all the support, all the sacrifices that were made so that our generation and then the generations that follow can have a better life. So very appreciative, and we must take care of them, and we have taken care of them, and we must continue to take care of them.
I lived in New York, and then I arrived and actually came in, set foot in Manhattan. There were some people waiting for immigrants who arrive. So they said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm an architect by profession." He says, "Oh, wonderful, I need an architect." I thought I was in Clover. So he takes me to Lower East Side, and he has a curtain shop. He needed somebody to package curtains. Didn't matter. He said, "I pay you 45 cents an hour." It was wonderful. I earned my first 45 cents the first day I was there. The first hour I was there. In Miami, I started a development on first one on Brickell Avenue. At that time, Brickell Avenue was nothing. As a matter of fact, when I presented at that time the leadership of the city that we should think of expanding into the Brickell area because that's natural expansion, they said, "Oh, forget it." So I built Rivergate Plaza, 444 Brickell. It was an instant success. It still is, even today. And my children, they are all wonderful. That's my biggest accomplishment. 2 of them are in the business, and my daughter is the apple of my eye, and I have my grandchildren, of course, and I have a wonderful wife. I have a wonderful, wonderful partner in my life. Well, number one, I'm deeply honored, especially the Claude Pepper Lifetime Achievement. The only thing is I'm getting it too early. I have much more to do yet.